Okay, this is not really, I'm not an experienced YouTube user, so this is more or less just my video vlog, or, well, lack of video, just streaming of my voice for that matter, because I'm not really interested in uploading images of myself or anything else at this point. I'm not saying that at a later date that won't change, but okay, off to what I'm here for. I don't know. I'm addicted to Pinterest, which is kind of like, I don't know, a neat little electronic collage of things that are of interest or that I like or think are cool. And everyone, I don't know. A lot of people have like a blog where they just write out things or type out things. I guess this is just my lazy approach to that. Instead of typing, just basically rambling, running my mouth, occasionally ranting. Maybe all the time ranting, I don't know. Speaking of ranting, um, Fox News, or faux news, so to speak, has rolled out their annual War on Christmas thing. You know, um, I mean, I'm not even a Christian, and I believe in God, but um, I love Christmas. I know Christians, I know people that practice Christianity, and amongst other religions, lots of other religions, as a matter of fact. I even know people who are pagans. Screw it, I'm not going to be scared to say it. I'm Muslim. I don't practice Christianity, but many of my loved ones do, and I can't imagine anyone for any reason um, hating Christmas or deciding in their mind that they're going to declare a war on Christmas. That's just not something that I think it's something to talk about. I don't know if this is just their way of killing time, but what I really think it boils down to is anger on the part of a lot of those on the right in politics, that you have a large faction of people within the Republican Party, and I'll get to the Democrats later and the progressives, because they both sides are screwed up in this area, in the whole God area, in my opinion. But you have you have the Republicans and those on the right. You have a large evangelical base within their party, and that's a good thing, because what that tells me is that there are a large amount of people within the party who, are God-fearing people, who believe in God, who believe in a higher power. And I'm assuming they also espouse to all of the moral implications that go along with said beliefs as well. So the evangelical base within the party is a good thing. Where the problem comes in at is them wanting to attempt to find ways of, subtly at times, but lately it's been more blatant, ways of attempting to legislate their faith, legislate their brand of Christianity. And I'm partly doing evangelicals a disservice calling these people evangelicals. I know that's what they call themselves. I think a more accurate term, especially when one gets down to what is at the core of what they believe and what drives them, I would say they're dominionist would be a more accurate term, because I know evangelicals, and a lot of especially the more staunch, more I don't want to say hardcore, because that sounds negative, and I don't think it's negative at all. But some of the more orthodox, will say, um, those who have a stricter observance of that particular brand of Christianity, they don't really want any part of politics, because a lot of the stricter evangelicals I know, they think that, or in their view, the devil is in charge, and this is all just a big, huge circus with, Satan basically being the ringmaster at this point. So they view it all as evil. They view it all as something that's going to fail. They view it all as something that is doomed to fail and that is going downhill. And I can't say I disagree with that at times. I mean, it's at times, one's tempted to call that ridiculous, but then I mean, look at what's going on. So I can certainly see how they feel that way. Um, but getting back to the point, you have a large group of people um, calling themselves evangelical, so we'll just call it evangelical since that's what they call themselves within the Republican Party, who want to legislate um, find ways of basically legislating their faith. They want to do this, on what we call social issues by restricting every imaginable or trying to regulate, I should say, every aspect of people's personal lives. You can't call yourself the party of less government when you want to basically, rigidly and in a very Orwellian, authoritarian fashion legislate every aspect of people's personal lives. It's disturbing. And it's what we're fighting overseas, frankly, with the Muslims. The extremists that are overseas. Basically, it's you got a bunch of you have nuts and loons within every faith. Okay, and it doesn't make a lot of sense to me for us to be trying to stamp out religious extremism over there and trying to stamp out basically fundamentalism is the problem. And we're trying to stamp it out over there, but we got people right here in power here who are fundamentalists in various ways. And they what they're angry about is that they basically failed at forcing their brand of Christianity and fundamentalism, evangelical, whatever. They want to basically force this down the throats of the American public, and people by and large have rejected this. And I think they're angry, and I think so. I think that's what this war on God and war on religion and war on Christmas thing is all about. Now, getting to the progressives and Democrats, and because there's a problem on that side too. You have people within the Democratic Party, people who within the progressive movement, just progressives, I guess, just in general, that are rabidly anti-God. They mock religion. They mock anything to do with faith, religion. They mock people of faith. They view people of faith as archaic and backward. And even though a lot of people, of faith or, have been at times guilty of that, because you have the anti-science people or people that just don't appear to have a whole lot of regard for science within the Republican Party. That's another problem and another issue for another day. But you do have progressives, and you have just this rabid atheism that exists, this anti-God, factor that I think tends to run rampant and out of control at times, which kind of, at times maybe the conservatives have a point. I think they drive it way overboard. But there's definitely an anti-God bent to progressivism. There is. And I consider myself a progressive person, and it's one of the things that I struggle with, because I am a person of faith. I am a person that believes in God. I just don't believe nor think it belongs in politics. It has no place in politics. But you have, rabid atheism. It's just as dangerous as people who are rabid fundamentalists of one kind or another. They're both extremes, and so you've got one extreme on the right and you've got one extreme on the left. And I think that at the end of the day, that's what the problem is. There's got to be a happy median. I don't understand why politics and religion are, these are two things that don't even belong in the same it shouldn't be in the same conversation, at least not publicly. That's a problem. So, I don't know. Fox News, they should get over it. Nobody hates Christmas. Nobody has declared a war on Christmas. It's just this is a nation of people who, practice all faiths. And if, like myself, even though I'm not a Christian, I'm tolerant. I love all the faiths. I think they all have something unique and special to offer. I'm interested in them all. I love them all. I like hearing about them all. I like being around people who practice different faiths and hearing what they believe and why. Because I think there's good things to be, had with all of it, really. And I agree, that people should be more tolerant, at least I think so, of each other. But I think both sides have a problem with tolerance and tolerance issues. People of faith have tolerance problems, and then people who are just rabidly atheists are also intolerant, to the point where atheism is not a religion, but it may as well be, because these people, they can be rabidly intolerant of people of faith. So this is it. Introductory / rant at the same time. So I'm going to see how this sounds anyway, because I've never done this before. See how it goes. I don't know. Maybe this will end up on Pinterest, because I've never done this before. I was wondering if I can upload a video of something. So we'll see how it works. Okay, that's all.